Welcome back to Racing to Win, a preview show of Hong Kong racing. Before we preview the 8th race on the program, don't forget you can get onto the website hkjc.com, click on the audio and video section, and you'll find a preview for each and every one of the 10 races coming up at Happy Valley on Sunday. Really good quality Class 2 race over 1,000 metres. Voyage Warrior for Razak Purton comes to Happy Valley for the second time. Explosive Witness has trialled twice since he appeared in the National Day Cup at his last start. We the South, he's a 7-time course and distance winner. He's won his last 2. We the South, Grateful Heart Classic Unicorn hasn't been seen since the last day meeting at Happy Valley. Highly Proactive's first up, but he's now trained by Michael Chang. Carroll Street, a last start winner over Cordyceps 6, who's come out and franked the form. Sparkling Dragon's been a little bit out of sorts, and the return of Nervous Witness, who's trialled very strongly at Happy Valley recently. They'll certainly go quick here, Nick, over the 1,000 metres.
Yeah, they're not going to hang around, that's for sure. Obviously, We the South, we know, is a confirmed front runner, especially around here, and he's drawn 1, so he couldn't be better boxed from the get-go. Nervous Witness, a horse who likes to race prominently. We saw that in that trial, of course. Handsome Bobo, Voyage Warrior and Classic Unicorn, Paul, will all want to be somewhere near the front.
Yeah, the query's Handsome Bobo, isn't he? Because he can miss the start, this horse. Yeah. So if he does miss the start, I think it'd be better for Classic Unicorn. But if he jumps, and he did jump nice enough in his last trial, we know he's got some speed.
Well, it's great to have Nervous Witness back on track. He has placed in his last couple of runs, albeit at very short prices. The man that trains him is David Hayes, and Nick caught up with him on Friday morning.
David, Nervous Witness will have his first appearance around Happy Valley this Sunday. Talk us through his recent trial there, because he looked very, very good.
Yeah, he was impressive in his trial. He wasn't out to win, but he did very easily, which is always a good sign. And he leant into the bends and looked like he handled the valley very, very well. So looking forward to him. Fresh legs. I think he's a very good fresh horse.
On the balance of his form, David, obviously we haven't seen him for a little while. You've given him that little bit of a break. As it transpired, last time out he was beaten by a subsequent Group 3 winner. So his form's all there for all to see. What was the thinking behind bringing him to the valley?
Well, the program. There wasn't any thousands here in his class. He's 81 now. And I am sure he's a horse that'll be better on a bend than a straight. I think he'll be able to cruise into the bend and kick strongly out of it. So I thought his last run was fine, but my feel was his form was just tapering off. His first 2 wins were brilliant and in very, very fast times, and then he probably just peaked and lost his form.
And just on that point, is he still a horse that's maturing? Because it seems to look that way, and obviously that trial clearly shows that he's at the top of his game at the moment.
Yeah, he's physically mature, but he's mentally not. He's always in a little bit of a hurry. And once we can tame his aggression, he'll go all the way to the top. But at the moment, his one weakness is he wants to get on with it a bit. So I'd love him to be 10% more relaxed.
And you've got Karras riding, obviously a lightweight with this horse, 116 pounds. Have the reports from him in the morning been pleasing you? And that, again, from his point of view, that he is maturing and settling?
Yeah, well, he was a bit aggressive with his final piece of work, be it easy work, but he was very excited about his trial. And that's what's more important, going at full pace. But he doesn't like going half pace.
And just on the future, I know we don't want to get too ahead of ourselves. He races at 1,000 metres currently. Once he does finally sort of settle and the penny drops completely with him, would there be a possibility that he would go up in trip? Do you think he'd get a trip?
Oh, he'll have to, because there's very few races here in the upper class at 1,000. So he just needs to come back 10%, and he might even run 1,400. So I'm not worried about 1,200.
I guess in some respects the bubble did burst a little bit into that 3rd start when he was beaten, Nick, but the trial was very impressive, wasn't it?
It certainly was, yeah. You couldn't fault it at all. I mean, it was a 10 out of 10, wasn't it? And it's still a very lightly raced horse. I mean, look, it's easy, isn't it, with a horse of sort of his height, Paul, early on, that you can get sort of disappointed early on in their careers. But he certainly is a very smart horse. No,
very, very much so. And look, he did raise through the grades pretty quickly with those first 2 wins, and he got beaten by Master 8 and Cordyceps 6. There's no disgrace in those 2 horses.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, Cordyceps 6 came out and won during the week, and Master 8 wasn't able to go on with it at group level last start. Now, here's an interesting replay with We the South. What I liked about this race, Paul, was where several runners come through it, There's rider on this occasion, Jerry Chow, didn't hustle and bustle him early to get forward, and I think that might have been the winning of the race because he was able to just hold on. Had he hustled and bustled him, he might not have been able to see it out.
Yeah, exactly. So he's just got that natural gate speed, and he's drawn barrier number 1. So I think that's a really good thing for this horse. Nervous witnesses will know he's been in a race with We the South on his inside. Now, he did beat Kerpenny here, and of course, Kerpenny's come out and won since.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's won a couple now, hasn't he? So he really is going from strength to strength, that horse. So the form's rock solid, and as Paul alluded to, he's going to know he's been in a race, Nervous Witness. But look, this is obviously a key form line, given that this horse is well drawn, likes to lead, and he's just got an exceptional record around here. 7 from 17 over course and distance. I mean, that's hard to top, isn't it, really, when he knows his way around the valley so well? Absolutely.
What about Voyage Warrior, Nick? He's having his second run at Happy Valley. His first run here at Happy Valley wasn't too bad. It sort of came not to the Voyage Warrior role, but it was better.
It was. I mean, look, he's got a big weight to carry. That's going to be a decent ask of him. But, a Group 2 winner at his very best. He's clearly very talented. And, he's a horse who, if he brings his best to the table, he'll make his presence felt.
Yeah, definitely. And he's coming on as well from that run. I think the experience will help him a lot.
Another horse that's talented here, Paul, is Carroll Street. He's won 4 from 8. He's had one start at Happy Valley. That was from a wide draw. He's got a better draw this time round.
Yeah, look, he went to the back, didn't he? And he sort of ran on without sort of threatening, but it wasn't a bad run from him there. He's had that experience at the Valley as well. He might be the one that gets the race run to suit if they go too quick in front.
Yeah, and he's got a bit less weight to carry as well now in this company, so he's a very intriguing runner.
He's been back here to the trials. When he last lined up at Happy Valley, there wasn't really a lot of market support for him. He sort of stayed at that 9-10 to 1 quote, but the trial here, Nicky was running on nicely.
He was, Tom, and he's obviously a horse in good form, given that he won last round, beat Cordyceps 6. Obviously, we know he's gone on to frank the form, so a lot to like about it. I like the way he's hit the line there. And look, he's only, as you say, had one run here at the Valley, so he's open to more improvement around the city circuit.
Now, Grateful Heart, Paul, he's been back to the trials. He was starting to go off the boil at the end of last season, and he just hasn't sort of appeared as the same horse.
No, he hasn't at all. As he's had the 3 runs back now, and he's finished towards the back in all 3. I mean, this trial was quite... he won the trial, but there was no pressure on him at all, and he's hard to have on his current form.
Yeah, he's just struggled off marks in the 90s, rated 92 here. I'd like to see him get down a few points before I think he can get competitive again. So I couldn't find a spot for him here.
Yeah, that is Grateful Heart. He's won 4. One of them has been course and distance. The other 3 have all been over the 1,200 metres at Happy Valley for a Grateful Heart out of the Danny Shum stable, and Harry Bentley picking up the ride there. Highly Proactive's changed stable from Francis Lloyd to Michael Chang. Tries course and distance for the first time here. Nick has had knee surgery. Looked beaten in his last race, but he fought back. How's his trials looked?
Yeah, look, his trials have been okay. As you alluded to, all of his winning has been over slightly further. So that would be arguably a little concern with some real speedsters here. 225 days since he last graced the track. But, I mean, he has trialled up nicely for a new stable, so he's interesting.
Yeah, look, his wins are off 12, and he has actually won up to 1,400. I think he might be just run off his feet a little bit in this.
OK, that is the verdict there on the horse 7, Highly Proactive. What about the selections here, Paul? Pretty open race, but look, Nervous Witness with his trial, he has to carry a lot of weight, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. And I'm going to go with him. I just really like that trial, and he just he won it so easy. He just seems to have handled the Valley with no problems whatsoever. He just needs to relax a bit, as David Hayes said. So he's on top. Carroll Street, they do overcook it. He's the one that can capitalise. We the South, he's going to be there for a long period. 7-time course and distance winner. And Voyage Warrior, didn't mind his run first time at Happy Valley. I don't think he'll be far away. 12-9, 4-1.
Yeah, I've also gone with Nervous Witness. Very hard to get away from him. If you weren't taken by that trial, then, well, that is arguably as impressive a trial as I've seen recently. So he'll go on top for me, Nervous Witness, with the lightweight over We the South, who knows his way around this track blindfold, and he's going for his 8th course and distance win. Carroll Street makes it in as well. He's in good form. And I throw an explosive Witness in at a bit of a price here. Horse number 2, 12, 4, 9 and 2.